I was recently in Las Vegas for the Sandpipers. I went to go train out with Nathan. I was at ACC's. Honestly, the hardest training week I've ever done in my life. I'll happily say it. They train so hard there. I've never experienced that.
Welcome to Social Kick. I'm Brian Lundquist. We got a partial crew. Luke Paddington is still in recovery mode from his home trip to Trinidad, but we've got Dr. John Mullen, and filling in, we've got a duo, the fastest gentlemen of distance swimming, the Brotherhood, Daniel and Nathan Wiffen. What's going on, boys? How you doing?
What's up? Yeah, how are you? Yeah.
We're pretty good. I'm intimidated by how many laps have been swum by you two this morning because John and I are swimming today, but I'd like to know collectively how many yards have been swum already today?
Just 6,000 meters we did this morning because we're on a recovery week, so we had a bit of a lighter session.
A lighter session. What is there a number that scares you guys as, distance elites?
Probably like 3K.
Off the blocks.
I mean, for real, are you volume junkies where okay, I mean, I know that wasn't always your focus, Nathan, but are you volume junkies to the point that if there's only 3 to 4K on a workout, A, does that ever happen that you're only doing that much? And B, does it give you anxiety that it's not enough?
On taper, we obviously get ads up. Friday night session, we do a short course yards with like towers, resistance, parachutes, everything.
Socks.
So that the whole equipment bag comes out. Yeah, all that. But that takes like an hour and a half, and we normally go around 4K. So that session, but most other sessions are around 7. I think though we did a camp one time last season where we went like a 30 10Ks in a row. Then 10Ks became scary after that because we did it for so long, and then you don't want to do it again.
Do you ever have injuries or shoulder problems? That just makes my shoulders hurt to think about it.
Not anymore. I used to when I started, because I started as like a 2 to freestyler when I was younger. I didn't really do distance, and then when I came to university, I kind of went up in the distance. So then it kind of got shoulder injuries. But now I'm pretty good. I do all the pre-pool and stuff. So they have a good team here anyway. They have a good physio team at Cal. So it's pretty easy. If you get injured, just straight on the bed and you can be fine by the next session.
What's the protocol? Are you getting like a massage every week or so?
Yeah, every week. And then if you have like a niggle after training, it's just straight in and they'll sort it for you.
Do you think non-athletes understand the word niggle?
Probably not.
I've said niggle before.
All Americans do.
You think they all do? I've said the word niggle to people before, and they're like, "Excuse me." And I don't know if they think I'm saying something else, but I've definitely gotten some judgment over that before. And I'm like, I just thought it was a term that everybody knew of. It's a small little injury.
It's like taper. Some people don't even understand the word taper, and I have to explain it to them.
How do you explain taper then?
It's just a period of rest before we race.
All right, that's like the most succinct way I think that you could say it. Wiffen Bros, we asked our audience at Social Kick Swim on Instagram and YouTube for some questions for you guys. So we're gonna cherry pick some of these. Maybe we'll start with our pal Cam McAvoy. Wants to know who wins one-on-one in Call of Duty between the two of you.
Oh, well, Nathan, yeah, you could say. I used to play for money and professionally when I was younger for Call of Duty. So I'll destroy Daniel. Well, the reason Cam's a fan of the worst team in the Call of Duty League. He's a fan of Optic Gaming, so yeah.
So did you get paid to play?
You would do it's like tournaments, like that kind of stuff. You get tournaments, and then you win a prize pool.
What's the most money you've ever made from Call of Duty or gaming?
Well, I don't think it was a lot. I don't maybe $500 maybe in one game maybe. Yeah,
not bad.
It's basically gambling though. It's basically what it is. Okay.
I love that. That's great. Who would have thought? Okay. This one's from Abby Hersku wants to know, do the Wiffen twins ever coordinate outfits?
We are the best dressed swimmers on poolside in Cal.
Yeah.
We never turn up in joggers or anything like that. We like to spice it up, but
Yeah.
no, we don't. Cool. We try to wear opposites so people can tell
Like
us
different
apart.
colors.
Yeah, like if Nathan's wearing black, I'll wear white, so people can tell us apart.
Did you guys used to like trade clothes or try to confuse your parents when you were growing up?
We still share clothes. And Nathan likes one of my jumpers, gonna steal it, or vice versa.
Right on. Wait, so what's behind the branding of wanting to be the best dressed?
I know, like you look at NBA players rocking up to the games, they're all like in suits. Yeah. So we try, and this started back in our old university where we had like a friend group who would all try dress up to go to the pool. So then it kind of started there. Yeah.
When I started wearing Magic 5 goggles, I realized that I could swim for 10 minutes at a time, not get to the wall and need to clear out my goggles.
When I did the 100-100s, I don't think I had to clear the Magic 5 goggles once.
It's one thing that you just kind of got used to. This is the way that I swim until I found a goggle that's so comfortable that I don't have to actually make adjustments.
Plus, they're the coolest looking goggles in the market, I find. I look cool in them. Takes a lot of a goggle.
Well, you need that.
I do.
So you want some paparazzi outside the swimming venue?
That
You guys walking up.
That happened one time.
Do you think that's the next big evolution in swimming is that, like we've evolved from having, it used to be a long time ago, Olympic walkouts were just, you walk the whole heat out and then they announce your name behind the block. And then now it's, you've got pre-recorded content where you've got some like doing dance on the video board in the background that you did days ago, and they're playing that while you're walking out, and it's just you with all the focus on you. But when they play like soccer games or NFL games, it's the big thing is the fashion for them arriving to the arena. Is that like the next big thing that we can do? You guys could be the pioneers of this. That fashion is what we're going to see. Like, what are the Wiffens going to wear on the way to the pool?
Yeah, the problem is, the classics will probably tape over the logos on it. That'll be the problem.
They definitely will.
Yeah. I try to walk out with, I have headphones that have the Red Bull logo on them, and they always tape them in the call room. They never let me walk out with them.
I don't know why World Aquatics got to be redacting every sponsor. Let's open this up. It should be like NASCAR.
Yeah, I said I want my swimsuit to be like a F1 car.
Who's the sponsor that you don't have that you would want to have on that F1 car?
Oh, that's a hard question. I've got my dream sponsors already. So
shout out, humble brag.
Probably take like Adidas or something like that, I guess. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. I don't have a clothing brand sponsor, so that would be pretty cool.
What's yours, Nathan?
My dream sponsor. Well, it's always been Red Bull. And obviously Daniel has it, so that would be my dream one.
Yeah. Are you poaching Red Bulls off that sponsorship?
Oh yeah, we have like 400 cans in our apartment at all times.
Wait, what's the shelf life on a Red Bull?
I think it's
Infinite
a while.
shelf life.
Yeah.
How long? Wait, what's the most number of Red Bulls you've ever had in a day?
In a day? Oh, I don't know. Probably three. It depends. If we're going vodka Red Bulls at some point, or like we're getting quite a lot.
You just lose count, right? Who knows then?
I have this problem where Red Bulls are like Pavlovian to me, like Pavlov's dogs. Because both my pre-race routine used to be drinking a Red Bull, and I'd also hit a caffeine pill at the same time. I was getting jacked up, 50 free. Yeah. And so, but if I have a Red Bull now, it's obviously not before like a swimming race because I'm never really doing that. Mm-hmm. And yet the second I hit that first sip of Red Bull, I'm like fired up, but that's not the response that like I'm looking for now. It's just funny that it works that way. All right, back to the audience questions. This is Jack Alexi and Hank Rivers asked, who's the better golfer?
Well, I'm the better PB. He is the better PB, but we're very similar. 91. Yeah, 91.
91? Not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
How much golf are you playing nowadays?
At the moment we've stopped because it's championship season and trials. But like we would be playing like twice a week normally. And then doing like a 75k week.
Grown-up swimming is a summer league for grown-ups.
How many swimmers got into swimming because of summer league? And it's because they got into the fun part about swimming.
Eating a hot dog, pounding some fun dip, and getting on the block and racing.
So why not continue that as an adult?
Why let kids have all the fun? Why can't adults have a summer league?
And remember how much fun swimming can be.
Times don't really matter. You get to do silly races. You can eat fun snacks and
Maybe a beer,
I plan on whooping some butt when I race that.
and getting up and going and beating some people, particularly beating Luke.
okay, real swimming question about this. I actually used to like playing golf because I felt that it helped my coordination. I could feel the connectivity with like hips and arms. And that for me, that timing aspect of coordinating hips to the golf swing, actually I felt there was some connection happening in my swimming stroke as well. Do you feel like there's any tie-in for you guys in golf to swimming?
I think like the mental aspect is very similar. I think like if you're standing over like a 4-foot putt, and it's a very similar feeling to, I don't know, to like a hard trainer session approaching that. But
Sure.
I mean, like the best, our housemate is amazing swimmer and golfer, Lucas Henver. So
Yeah.
he thinks there's quite a lot of a transparent kind of thing going on there, but I don't really feel it as much, just in the mental aspect. We just do it for fun.
I was just going to ask you what you picked up from Lucas playing golf.
Well, he's the one
who
who taught us. So yeah.
Oh, you'd never played before?
No, we only started a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah. No, wait. A year and a half ago.
Amazing.
So,
yeah. That's awesome. Okay, let's go. We got so many from your teammates on this one. Ryan Erithman wants to know how much poker money have they made since being at Cal?
Oh, well. So we were down until last night, and we've broken even on the whole since we started playing. We started playing in Colorado Springs.
Okay, yeah.
And we lost at Colorado Springs. We lost nearly $1,000.
Jeez, what's the buy-in to these poker
No
games?
kidding.
Just
Jeez.
$20.
And you lost $1,000. Did you like rebuy in, or are you playing that much poker?
Yeah. Rebuy it. But we were
Okay.
playing. We played every night for the 21 days we were there, and then we were playing sometimes twice in a day. Yeah, so it became like we were playing a lot. And then I actually I made it back first, and Nathan made all his back last night. So we're back to even.
God, I feel like you guys needed a good thing that you crawled out of that hole. That's a big hole to crawl out of.
Yeah, I never count us out. We're back end swimmers.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. All right, let's keep going through some of these. Our pal Neophyto Share wants to know who takes the top bunk.
The top. No. Well, we used to share. Yeah, we used to have a bunk bed. I forgot about that. I was on the top bunk when we were in our family home. But yeah, I don't know why, because it's actually more inconvenient being on the top than it is the bottom.
Wait, how?
Well, we used to have like a double bed on the bottom bunk and a single on the top. So you got the double bed. You had to climb up the ladder every day.
Yeah. All right. I got you. Okay, and then maybe the last one of these that we'll hit is Josh Huger. What's the best joke of the day that you've ever told?
God, I'm gonna keep it PG.
No,
whatever you want.
It's a safe zone here.
Let me think. Go on. What's you see the enzyme one? No. What's blue and not heavy?
Blue and heavy. What do you got, John?
Not heavy.
Not heavy.
Not
Blue
heavy.
and not heavy. I don't know.
Light
I don't know if I have anything.
The sky.
Light blue.
I don't know.
Light blue.
The sky.
No, it's light blue.
Light. Yeah, it is light blue. I'm looking at it. I don't know. What is it? I'm clearly.
No, it's light blue. Like what's blue?
Oh, light blue.
Heavy.
Oh, got it.
Light
Yeah.
blue.
Okay. That's like a dad joke for sure.
Nathan's the king of the jokes. Every morning, go straight up to Dave Durden, joke of the day every day. Well, today's was actually I can tell you this one. What do you call a person who farts in private?
Silent but deadly.
No, a private tutor.
A private tutor. Okay. That's dad joke 101 for sure. Nathan, how was ACCs?
Yeah, it was good. I've never been in like a environment like that before. Well, I don't know, like with a team, I guess. Like I would say Europeans in 2023 when Daniel broke the world record was way louder. But I'm gonna guess NCAA is gonna be like that. But yeah, it was really good. I was really happy with my 500 when I went 412 because I'm not typically very good at like 400 freestyle. So to go 412 was like I got like a 4-second PB. And then my mile, I was happy with the time, but not happy with the race. So it was like kind of bittersweet. But I guess I could do it in NCAA, so I just have to redeem myself. But it was my first major medal anyway in my swimming career, so
yeah,
I enjoyed.
Tell us about. I was gonna say, tell us about the mile race. What weren't you happy with? I think you were out first, and then tell us more about that race.
I was just getting frustrated because I couldn't drop the guy from NC State, and I was just getting frustrated by it. And I think I don't know, that race I learned a lot from because I've never really been in a race like that before. And then I think I'm now thinking about racing like Daniel does now. So it's actually opened my eyes to a lot of like how mental everything is, and I feel like I basically gave the guy the win because I just slowed down completely in the middle. Like he didn't even have to speed up. I just let him go. So
yeah, I was looking at the splits and it looked like at around 1100 he dropped a 26.5 and you had 27.0 or 1, and it was like that was the gap that got created after you were kind of on the leading end for the front half of the race. Yeah. I wondered about like the psychology of that because there's so much strategy. I think that, from talking to some of these like world level distance swimmers and how you guys are thinking about other people in the race. And that just doesn't really happen at like the 100 distance. It's more like horse racing with putting the blinders on and just swimming your own race. It has nothing to do with factoring what other people are doing. But like, so if you were to do it differently, what's the change?
Well, I can't say what I'm going to change because for NCAAs.
Fair.
But I guess I'll just say, well, let's have to see. But I was really good winning the team championship as well because it was kind of like we weren't going in ranked first or anything because Stanford were going in, and it was meant to be like real. Well, I don't think we were meant to win, to be honest. That's what my consensus was of it. And then we won, and it was like everybody was like really happy. We didn't really celebrate like that much. We kind of just went back to the hotel and had like a catered dinner, and then we all just kind of chilled out. But we were up at like 3:30 in the morning getting a flight the next day, so everybody was like kind of like 3 hours sleep because everybody took so much caffeine. So we had like 17 or 18, basically the whole men's team swimming in that final session.
Yeah.
So, but.
That's a lot. Yeah. Well, what's life been like then? Moving from Loughborough, big change in California, training in the US, decent amount of yards too. What's it been like?
Well, it's like, so when I first came here, I had like no one to like, I didn't really know that many people. I knew like Jack, but I didn't really see him that often. So then I was like, it's kind of really weird not having my twin here or Lucas. Like I've been around them for like years. So now I had to get used to being by myself and then like getting to know new people. And then on top of that, the training is like totally different. Like the European style of training is like, we don't do that much kick really.
Yeah,
a lot of meters, a lot of pull, a lot more longer reps, where in the US it's just shorter middle distance reps and like way more harder sessions like throughout the week. But in Loughborough we did harder sets, which is less frequent.
Having an option that works with my affinity for swimming and my love for being in the pool that can help me by taking care of the wrinkles before the pool, with the goggles so I don't look like I've been in the pool all day, to not being itchy, to smelling nice. It's kind of nice to have an option that does all those things. You can enjoy these benefits too. Go to TryHard and use code SocialCare for 20% off your order.
So how many hard sets are you doing now per week, or like during peak training compared to what you're doing back in Europe?
Well, we have hard sets. And we have hard sets that we all like to race on. You probably heard from
Okay,
Ryan. He probably said about it. Like this morning, we have a Monday morning's meant to be aerobic. We're not meant to go higher than a 150 heart rate. It ends up just being max all out reps.
Right.
Trying to race each other. Monday night is like short course yards, like 500 pace. It just becomes max pace. There's no 500 pace. It's just whatever you can go and hold. Like kind of like 75s, 100s, 125s, 150s, around that range. Yeah, nothing higher than a 125 pace. And then Tuesday morning, it depends on what group you're in. If you're in the pro group, we swim. We go like easy. We have like an aerobic short rest session. So when the pro group is by itself, we go easy. But when we're with the college group, Tuesday mornings we have test sets. Yeah, we have like a test set, so like 31s or something like that. Yeah, so then we end up going real fast. But and then Tuesday night for the pro group, for me and Lucas, we go like mid-range reps, threshold to heart rate. So between around 200s, 300s at threshold, we could do like 10 2s, 10 3s, whatever. And then Wednesday you have it off. We have it off. Wednesday morning is for the distance group. A lot of people split off because obviously in the NCAA you have the different strokes. So these stroke groups. Me and Nathan are the only ones who don't have other strokes. So we're still in the distance squad. Yeah. We do it's like mid distance, like 400s, just short rest. Aerobic short rest. Long course. Wednesday night you've got Wednesday night we have active rest rainbow kind of set. Like basically that's really not too hard. Yeah, they should have said the Wednesday morning is meant to be like a nice chill session, but me and Nathan like to race it up on the Wednesday morning on the longer reps. Thursday morning is like I am for your group. Yeah, I am for your group, and for the pros it's the same chill aerobic session. And then Thursday night for me, I'm by myself on Thursday night, or when Nathan did it with me sometimes, I go like 800s, a load of 800s fast. And train at long course and stuff like that. And then Friday morning, this morning it's the kick set, but then we actually because we're distance, we don't do that much kick. So then it ends up being a max aerobic session. Yeah, we had Ryan this morning. He was the one chatting the whole session. He was cooking. We had 14 ones on like 125 pink. So pink pace for me, I would have the fastest pink pace, and it's about 104. It's about 102, 101, 101. And then Ryan's pace would be so would mine. So he'd probably be 103. Yeah, 103 on pink. Ryan today decided to go 57s at all 14 100s. And all we could see was it was me, Dave, and Lucas leading the lanes in the front row, and Ryan and Eduardo. And we actually had a guest today. We had Henrik Christensen. Do you know the Muffin Man? Mm-hmm. The Muffin Man. Yeah. He came and joined us because he's here for a day, just visiting us. So he was in the lane too. But the second wave was Eduardo and Ryan. And like me, Dave, and Lucas are all chilling at our like 101. No, I was winning the first. Me and Lucas were dead from last night. Lucas got up to like a 20 lactate last night on his 50s. So me and Lucas were pretty dead. And we can just see Ryan and Eduardo just going 57s behind us. And we're like, what's going on? And then Ryan is just like screaming. Like he's leaving on Brazil time over here. Leaving early. Eduardo likes to leave early on the reps. And those two are going at it. It's like 14. And then Ryan started going, I'm having like a 1.5 handicap right now. And I'm still winning. Yeah, and those two are just arguing for like 14 100s. It was hilarious. And then they're just going back. And Dave Durnan's just sitting in the background laughing while where everybody's shouting. The good thing about our squad is that like there's no like ego thing. It's all about like everybody just loves to race each other. Like before I felt like a lot of people were afraid to race me because of the medals won and they didn't want to like race me, but now it doesn't matter. Everybody just wants to race me. They always like I think Ryan said in the podcast to me, but he was talking about how when I win I like to count up the reps. Yeah, because I know it annoys him. So I like to do that. But like, and I always win the majority reps all the time. But today, because he was second wave, he wasn't racist. No, we don't just counting all the way up to 14. But we don't count if you're second wave, you can't win a set. You got to be first wave to win.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah. He did talk up the intimidation factor for you for sure. We showed up. He's like, okay, we're in a new domain now.
Yeah, we did. The coaches have said when we joined, we have kind of changed how the environment is in Cal, because before the distance squad was not very well known, and now it's probably their best. Well, it depends if you count breaststroke. Breaststroke is technically the best at NCAA's, but in world class swimming, the distance squad will be the best. And we kind of changed this environment we got here. We wanted everybody to race. We wanted it to be like to everybody to get in each other's faces, start inspiring each other, people doing crazy things, and to try and raise the training level. Because I sat everybody down when I arrived. I arrived a bit later because I had surgery. So when I came a bit later. I sat everybody down when I got there. And I said, I want to make sure this squad, we don't want a really good top level. We don't want an Olympic champion and the bottom level not even to make nationals. So we're trying to move that bottom level up to the top. And that's why I sat everybody down at the start, said this. And ever since then, we've had our bottom level just raised up so much. Like we're getting, I think the multiple people like
slowest mile is like
also
15 minutes around that.
Our slowest mile is 15 minutes now. So it's crazy that we've raised this level up for everybody, and everybody's buying into it. There's nobody not buying into it, so it's quite fun.
What do you think, besides that like attitude shift and reframing in the competition within a workout? Like, is there anything tactical that you feel like you've been able to add to the group to say, no, this is how you actually get better?
It's kind of old school, to be honest. It's more just shout at them until they do it. That's basically what it is. I did find like at the start, like a lot of them were too comfortable on their paces, and like it always happens. Like when I was in Loughborough, I was the only one, and Felix would do it too, or back when I was in there. Like we were the only ones pushing the paces. No, everybody's comfortable sitting back, chilling at their heart rate zones. Nobody really wanted to push it. And I just like explained to these guys, like, you're not going to win an Olympic medal if you're not going to do stuff that's uncomfortable and stuff like that. And you need to really push yourselves, because at the end of the day, the feeling you get in training when you're dying and you try push it from the start is what you're going to feel in the race. And the more used to the more used you get to that feeling, the easier it is to break it. And then also they're lucky enough that they get some world-class athletes as pros, like me and Lucas, and as coming in as pros. Lucas is a world medalist short course. You know, like they know what the level is at. Like I never had this when I was young. I never had an Olympic champion who was training at the level to push to. Felix was world champion, but he never in my events, so I never really knew what it was like. So for me, setting the stone for them, they kind of have that picture already painted for them, that they know what to do. They know what level, because I always train at the highest level to try and be the best forever, and they will try and push it then and they know what that level is to try and make their dreams come true too. So it's kind of good to see, and that's what I kind of taken into my role this year. I remember talking to Dave and Noah when I got there. I was like, I kind of want to have a role where I kind of share some information, because when I was younger, I never, like, Felix would always tell me what to do, and I have Felix to guide me along the way, and I want to do that now for the younger generation swimmers in Cal, like Ryan, who could have a great chance of being an Olympic medalist, but he just needs to be steered in the right direction and make sure he's doing the right things and stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to do at the moment.
You mentioned you guys brought the old school mentality, and like you said, you're used to doing more yardage, you're pushing each other, and then the whole group, and it sounds like every practice, even if it's meant to be easy. Is overtraining or burnout or any of those things on your radar? Or, hey, how do you focus, or what's your mentality behind that?
Yeah, for burnout, like, I always think burnout is more of a mental thing, because we're all having so much fun in the sessions. Like, you don't really burn out because of the enjoyment factor. Like, burnout's normally when you don't enjoy it and you aren't enjoying what you're doing, and then you start to see a decline. So for us, if everybody's enjoying it, you don't really see the burnout as
You're only not enjoying it if you're losing anyway. So
so get out anyway.
Yeah, so that part of it's definitely, and obviously there's a lot of, like, for me being a lot older now, when I was Ryan's age, I was able to sprint every session, and now I had to pick and choose my battles, because I'm 24 years old. You know, I'm starting to come to the peak end of my career. That'll be at the LA Olympics, so I can't go all out on these 14-100s like this morning, because I have a hard set tonight where I need to prepare for. Where when I was 18 years old, I was flying and everything. I just wouldn't care. But so for the younger people, they can go as fast as they want all the time. But when you start to get that second part of your career, after like having a big win or something like that, then you start to adjust. And that's what Noah and Dave are really good at. They're really good at adjusting for certain people. I always thought college programs, it's just one set way and do what it is, but it's completely untrue.
Yeah, well, I know
my program is completely set for me, and I even do sets just for me, and it's great. And that's what's good. And also, I do 6 long course, 4 short course yards, so it's not. I'm doing literally the same as what I was doing before. They've even adjusted the sessions for me, so
and we're doing more long course than ever.
Yeah, more long course after April, so it'll be good.
So it's so funny to think about like 24 being like framed as the old man, which, I know that when I was 24, that's the way that it felt too, because you're removed from college and, life moves at a different pace when you're living around a college town and, around a bunch of, kids who are 18 and who are flying, and you're like, oh man, I've been doing this so long. But, I think it's so interesting with swimming that, and I've said this on prior episodes for our listeners, the triathlon and marathon running, the peak athletes are like in their late 30s often. Now it's getting younger in triathlon because more entrants are getting into it, but swimming seems to be like this for a while. It's mostly an outlier. Like Ledecky's extending her career for a long time, but other sports are proving that there's longevity in the distance events, and swimming seems not to be that way. Where maybe like Greg might be one that like sticks around.
He's an outlier though.
Yeah, he might be an outlier, but I don't understand why like the same isn't true in swimming, where you've got a whole bunch of people who are in their like 30s who are dominating distance racing.
Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with mental fatigue. I think when you start to do because you have to do a certain amount of meters to be a distance swimmer. Like we can't do the Cam McAvoy training in distance swimming. It just doesn't work for us. Like I've tried it last year and it just doesn't work. Like I tried it, and this year I'm going less. I'm going like 65k average at the moment. Like, and I used to do 75k, 80k average. So I've come down a bit and I still see the same results. But I think it's because I've got that massive block behind me. Is one of the reasons why that I don't need to necessarily do that amount of meters anymore. But I feel like for the longevity and distance swimming, like I still think peak age is around 27 for when you're at your best and when you get the best time. So, but the problem is like Greg has got that mental ability to be able to do the 10k work all the time. He loves it, and if he loves something, it's a lot easier. But for people who are doing distance swimming, like 7Ks is a long way and it takes 2 hours and you're doing that 10 times a week. Then you see where sprint training, it could be later because you're getting like Cam McAvoy's doing 500 meters a session, And I'm really good friends with Cam and I talk to him a lot. So he always, and he's been a 5K swimmer before, so he knows the type of training that I do. And I like to see what he's doing. But that's sort of saying like it's a big difference. That's why I always think the distance age is a bit earlier.
What can you pick up from what Cam's doing now then?
Well, I actually thought Cam said he takes a lot from me. That's what he was saying to me at the Paris Olympics. I remember he came out with that quote where he said he challenged us in a Dan Wiffen last 10 meters when he saw my 800. but I mean, like Cam's training, I feel like the thing about him is that he's so specific with everything. Every stroke counts, and necessarily when we're training, not every stroke counts, but most like every 100 meters and the time matters more. But he's really feeling every stroke. And when I talk to him, it's all about technique driven. It's all about like the timing aspect, making sure you're always good, making sure you're always at the right rate and stuff like that. Where that's why I think it was really cool for him. I just think it's really hard for me to do that, but I do try to tap in on the technique aspect a lot. We have Dave Marsh with his camera out. Yeah, he's one of the best technique advisors ever. He always gives great technique advice. But that's what I take from Cam is like that the ability to think about every little minute thing to then be good is really cool. And I can adapt it to my training. I try to think about certain things per session, stuff like that, and keep it on my mind.
What are both of you thinking about with your technique at the moment with areas to improve?
Well, I'll say anyway, because in the mile, one of the key things I noticed was my breakout is awful off my turns. I have a really quick turn, like rotation speed, I probably have one of the quickest. And it's like I'm just blocking all the water. Dave Marsh is telling me. So we've just been working on like making sure my hand doesn't drift out on the breakout, because mine is like I'm like collapsing, breaking out. I'm like getting all the water on my head almost. So we're just trying to keep that real smooth, and I'm doing it. I'm like seeing massive results. Even like I've been doing it for like 3 days. Yeah.
Nice.
For me, breathing has been an issue my whole life. Like I feel like actually Ryan Murphy is training with us at the moment. This guy is my #1 fan. I tell you, I've never met someone. Every session he bigs me up. He was 10 meters behind me in the lane. He always comes in my lane. He loves being in a lane with me because we always chat, and I don't know, he loves it. And he was 10 meters behind me. We were doing a pull set, and he said he goes up to me after the session. He goes, "You have the best pull I've ever seen in my life. Like I'm feeling your catch from 10 meters back." I was like, "Yeah, that's great." And then the other day it was my turns were amazing. It's like I try to do underwaters and I just can't catch her. Yes, but the main thing for me that I notice is like, see when I breathe, my head kind of drifts to the side of it and I look backwards. So I'm trying to keep it more in line because distance, like the tiniest little thing, can make a massive impact. So like that's why it's so good about turns. Like if you increase your turn speed by 0.1, it's 3 seconds basically, or 1.5 seconds. Whatever. Yeah, so it's like the little things kind of make one thing also. When we went to Colorado Springs, Yuri took us through a freestyle clinic with our whole squad. Yeah, Yuri Keitodaki's whole coach. And he was saying like, it was actually, I never realized this, the flatter the swimmer, like all the people who are the flattest in the water, like going through no up and down motion, are the ones winning. Yeah. Like it's like on every event he was showing us, it was just all the body line is flat on top of the water, no real moving side to side and no real up and down movement. It's always, and like a big thing, like a lot of the people in Cal working at the moment, is that the over rotation on the breath too, because a lot of people go straight on their side. Like instead of staying flat, they go the whole way around. And really, you only want the tiniest movement side to side, and you need more net mobility. And we've got the best coach, Nathan Adrian's coach Dave Durden for the breath. It's the best we have there. Nathan Adrian has his own breath technique. So what can we say?
Yeah. These small nuances, that's like really what stands out at the elite level, is that you're measuring things by these super tiny marginal gains. And that's what it takes to chase the long tail, because you're already in the top, like 0.1% of even not only the population, but also what's possible. So then to like break that further down, this is the kind of attention that you need to have. I just wonder about like, what do you guys feel like is the biggest like challenge for you to figure out whatever's next? Like maybe a different way to frame it is, what are you taking to the pool on a daily basis that is your like 1, 2, 3 things I need to focus on to get the most out of this workout? You may have mentioned some already on the technique side, but what are like the key priorities?
Yeah, you go first. So my 3 would be, well, if we do it like basic, it would be the technique. The effort I'm putting in is a massive one, especially. I think that's probably the biggest. And also like the recovery after, I would say, is big. They're my like 3 things I think about during training. It's like we have like a whole protocol. I know Daniel's probably going into this more detail, how the Red Bull are helping him make a whole routine after training and stuff. But that would be my 3, I would say. Yeah, for me, I think I don't really like to. I would say at the moment my breath focus is #1. My big thing for distance swimmers, like if you want to be a fast distance swimmer, you need to learn how to negative split everything. Like it's like massive because of how long the race is. You need to be able to hold that pace, and the second half of the 100, say the 50, second 50 on the 100, or the second 100 on the 200, you need to be able to hit the right pace. And a lot of people I see, especially since coming to a college program, they always send the first 100 and are so slow on the second 100. It's just not the way to train to be a distance freestyler. If you don't know how to negative split, you're never going to be in the race. Like somebody who goes out first 100 never wins the race, apart from Bobby Fink at the Olympics. But it rarely ever wins. So for me, negative split second, and then my 3rd would be also make sure my awareness is right, because as we said, like in our events, it's more about racing the people instead of racing in your own lane. Like you need to make sure you're in the right position and stuff like that. So in training, I'm always aware of where I am. I'm always aware of who's in front. If I'm in front, how far I need to be in front of somebody to make sure they can't out sprint me at the end. And I'm thinking this all the time. Like I always think like really logically in training. Like I always know exactly everybody who I'm training with. I know exactly how far ahead I need to be or behind. I need to be going to a last 50 on a rep. And like I've always been that way. I even took it into the Olympics for when I did the 800 to know how far in front I need to be a Bobby Fink to be able to that he couldn't fink me at the end. But like stuff like that, that's what I like to make sure I'm aware. And I also been teaching this to the freshmen to make sure they learn about the racing and know your competitors. But yeah, and they want me to go into detail about my recovery strategy as well. I may as well mention it. But basically, so ever since signing with Red Bull, the main thing that I found that they're really good for is like their like ability, that their knowledge around different things that we necessarily don't have access to in swimming. They've got so many good sports and they're such a massive multi-billion-dollar company that they have got so many resources. Yeah. So the first time I joined Red Bull, I need to sort out my nutrition. So I got the Red Bull nutritionist who does all the athletes, does the cycling team, everything. And I said, I need you to set me out a plan of a week. I said, I came in at the start of the season 18 pounds overweight because of my surgery and taking that much time off. So I took off 18 pounds by this certain date. I need you to set me out the meal plan. Red Bull have their own nutrition app, so it's pretty easy. The guy makes recipes for me, customize it every week and changes it up, and he gives me the shopping list on a Sunday, so I go into the shops and have it all ready. So that's already taken care of. So that's one part of the recovery. And then the next part I'm working on at the moment with our sports scientists is about different techniques to get myself better without doing extra stuff. So obviously sleep's number one, but forget about that because everybody knows that, and you need 9 hours a night or eight hours 30, whatever. A lot of different things, techniques that have come up recently, like ice baths after aerobic sessions increase your VO2 max. A lot of people don't know that. So after a hard session, go 12 minutes in an ice bath around 28 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 degrees Fahrenheit is like optimal for after a hard aerobic session, that you then increase the benefit of the aerobic session. So then I will get more benefit icing the muscles after, but you can't do it in a strength phase because it reduces the risk, that reduces muscle build, stuff like that. And then stuff like with hyperbaric chambers after a Saturday morning training to boost again the blood flow with oxygen, and then normal attacking in between sessions to make sure that the blood restriction works and all that stuff. Like there's a load of different things that we're going into at the moment, like stuff like that, which is kind of interesting, and trying to make those 1% extra so that when I come to the Olympics in LA, that I'm going to be the most well-balanced athlete ever, and that's how I'm going to win. I'm going to win from the little things I've done outside of the pool instead of just training hard and put my head down.
I think when we talk about all these different like modalities and technology and innovations that, you know, are coming into science the shit out of the sport, it makes me think about the Norwegian triathletes who were measuring their core body temp by putting a like suppository pill in their butt to like have a temp sensor.
I've done that.
You have done that?
We did it in training, judging, because we did it for judging. Was it hydration we did it for? And burning our resting heart rates as well, so that you swallow the pill and then it gives you your body temperature. And we also did some race simulations to see how much we dropped before the race and stuff like that. A lot of different things. Yeah, I actually looked in quite a lot of the science of the sport there, because get quite a lot of access with being sponsored by Red Bull, and then obviously having college programs. It's always students who want to do testing and stuff like that. I mean, the only thing I stay away from is the psychological testing, because when students ask psychological questions, they just say you're in a rabbit hole and you don't want to do them, and then you end up overthinking things. So stay away from that.
We had one more audience question about recovery, and they were specifically talking about between prelim and finals. You mentioned Normatex being one thing. Any other tips or strategies between prelims and finals?
Yeah, fireflies, the EMS, EMS, electro pulse stuff. For me, especially at the Olympics, I'll give you the best story. So I heard that Pan, the 100 freestyle world record holder, got 16 hours of sleep in between his heat and final at the Olympics.
Whoa. How's that even possible?
I guess napping and whatever, because you have like, well, how many? You got the morning of and the night the next day, so 16 hours. So I took this into account. I was like, if he's doing this, I'm gonna try it. So for the 800 freestyle, did my heats, then I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a nap. I'll take a 3-hour nap after the heats. 3-hour nap. Then I went to bed the night of. I took 9 hours sleep. And then I woke up, did my morning swim, and then came back and I went for another 3-hour nap. So I ended up with 15 hours of total sleep in between the heats and finals. And then after that, I felt amazing. Like I felt like I was a new person going into the final and stuff like that. And then also I am on top of the Normatex. I do 30 minutes on the legs, 15 minutes on each arm. And then also ice bath after heats and finals. So I go in, I get my lactate.
Distance,
Yeah,
not the
no distance. Yeah, this is for my event. Just I don't know about the other events, but we do lactates. Lactates are massive for me. I don't care about heart rate. Heart rate's, in my opinion, just a made up number. It doesn't matter what your heart rate is because everybody's different. But lactates are great because they show if you're fueled enough for the session or a race. So if I'm going really slow, my lactate's not getting above a 3, then I know I don't have enough glycogen to make myself have the best session. So for me now, we use lactates all the time in Cal. We all have our own monitors in the pro group, so we're checking lactates. And I know that if my session's good, if my lactate number's high enough to go with the swimming, I know what lactate should be at a certain effort. So, and then if it's lower than what I think it is, that means I haven't fueled right. And it's the same with racing. So our race, we do a hydration test and we do a lactate test. And then if my hydration's low, it means I need to up it and it's not good enough for the finals. So then I learn for the finals that I need to drink more. And if my lactate's low, I need to eat more. So I need to get more fuel in for the finals. Stuff like this, like it's very different. Obviously, like these age group swimmers can't be doing this because lactate machines are $2,000+ to get. But you should you can tell by racing if you feel depleted, then you need to eat more between the heats and finals and stuff like this. Yeah, that's how it's becoming. I don't know. That's what I've been working on at the moment.
How about at ACCs and on the college scene when you have obviously 20, 25 guys, maybe having 25 Normatechs and 25 massage therapists and things like that isn't as feasible. So what's been your strategy you've been working on at these conferences and NCs?
You say it's not feasible, but I feel like everybody in the team has their own pair of Normatechs. Yeah, I always feel like if the NCAA is like people always, you have to offset receipts. Like Normatech is like the first thing people buy when they have to offset receipts, like $1,500. So we go buy a pair of Normatechs. But because we have with Cal, it's good. We have 3 masseuses at every major meet. So after say the 500. I went heats, swam at Whale, got in the final, then into a straight flush of the legs, because that's basically I get a lot from Daniel, to be honest, but flush the legs, then go back. It was probably basically lunchtime, have my lunch, then go for a longest nap as I can, then wake up maybe 30 minutes before I have to leave for the finals. And then sometimes I put on the Fireflies when I wake up, just to get the blood flowing more. And then I don't know if this is a myth or not, but we were talking about Normatech, and I like to put my Normatex on and then put my duvet over the top of me. I don't know, keep the heat in. I don't know. Yeah. That's a big one, actually. A lot of people, I actually noticed this a lot at the dual meets with Cal. Like the amount of college athletes who don't wrap up before they go to the pool, they're just standing there with no shoes on, no shorts on, just a t-shirt, and it's freezing on the pool deck. It's all open air. The amount you can lose in heat is crazy, and the reaction time's a big thing for heat and stuff like that. So especially in the sprint events, you need the heat in your body. I always see Ryan Murphy and all these guys coats on, hat on, gloves on, everything on before. Michael Andrew does it actually well. You always see him with a coat on, gloves on, hat on a lot. And then we got Ryan rocking up. Ryan's sleeper build in his Crocs and his towel around him. Yeah, always. And also in America, a massive thing is getting in with your suit on, with your race suit on. Yeah, that. Yeah, I don't think people understand, but race suits restrict blood flow. So you need to take it off so that you can get the oxygen back to your muscles so that you can recover. People just stick it on and never take it off until an hour after the race. Well, I'm talking about before they go to the call room. 10 minutes before their race, they're getting in
before.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't get this college swimming where it's not possible at World Champs to be able to get in 10 minutes before the race because
Right.
you have to be at the call room 20 minutes before. And like people who go for a earlier warm up, then come back in and do more warm up before they go to the call room. Like I just think you're losing so much internal body temperature, and you're not giving yourself enough time to be able to get it back up again.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
think.
I've never understood that either, but I felt like it's more common in longer events than it is in shorter events, where
Yeah.
shorter events people are okay with, having 45 minutes or 50 hour even in between and putting the suit on, getting warm and all of that.
Yeah.
I want to come back to the sleeping because like I was a terrible napper and I never figured out the solution to be able to sleep. And part of it was because like, oh, I might have a caffeine for a prelim swim or heat swim. And then if there's a session, like trying to get some rest in between sessions was difficult, but then my mind would race too, and I had a difficult time going to sleep. But I knew that my best races came after having a solid nap. And, to hear about like being able to program and go, I'm going to go take a 3-hour nap. And then you're able to do it on top of setting your intention. That's what would fuck me up is saying, I'm going to take a 3-hour nap because then I wouldn't be able to do it. There's so many times I've tried to lay down. I need to sleep. I can't.
Yeah.
Do you ever have that problem? Or are you just are you guys pro sleepers?
I think because of the routine that I've kind of got good at now, but
we don't take like melatonin or anything.
I don't take like any sleep supplements really either. I apart from a cherry juice because it's got natural melatonin in it, so I take that. I actually have since coming to the US because melatonin is prescription in the UK, so you can't get it, but in the US it's easily accessible for some reason. So
we're big on pharma here. Yeah, we watch TV. We love the drugs.
Yeah, so I take that after finals to make sure I can get to sleep like straight away. But for like the napping aspect, like I think also I don't take caffeine in heats. I used to obviously when I wasn't as good. So but now I can go PB plus 15 and make the final. So it's easier now to do it. But when I was younger, like I don't know, I can just force myself to nap. I don't know. As soon as I turn the lights off, I can fall straight to sleep.
You the same, Nathan?
Well, I'm not at the level where like I can't take caffeine in heats, but like ACCs, it was fine. So I just did the exact same thing he did, and it worked.
Yeah.
But you can say, I'm going to go down and take the way that you phrased it was, I'm going to sleep as long as I can. But yeah, but like I think I've always just been envious of people who can sit down on a couch, and they're like, it's basically like they have a button, they sit down, I'm gonna go sleep, and then
I mean, I feel like it also depends on what your mindset is when you race, because if you're like, it depends on what you're thinking about when you're in the race, because in the heats I don't really think about anything. I just think about what place I need to be at to make sure I get through and stuff like that. So because I'm not going all out, like my mindset's very different to the final. But the final, I do struggle to get to sleep after. But when I'm not, so my head isn't technically racing after the heats. And also, I have probably one of the best. I don't know how I've developed this, but I'm really good at forgetting like certain things. So if I have a bad set, I can completely wipe it out of my memory. I'll never remember.
Wow.
And it can be like
next day,
and I won't remember. Like I'm really good at only remembering the things I'm good at. So
Has it always been that way?
Always been that way.
I know that as well.
Yeah, like everybody says they're so jealous of me because they'll bring up a session like a week ago that I didn't do very well, and they're like, "Oh, you were terrible." This session, I don't know what you thought. I don't even remember the set.
Is that when you blame it on your brother, or you're like, no, that must not have been me. It must have been Nathan.
But I have no idea. In my head, I only remember the stuff that I've done well. Like I've only ever done that, and I think that's also one of the reasons why when I was like coming to Loughborough, they would always laugh at me because I always tell them I'm going to be Olympic champion, I'm going to be the best, and they would always like people would never take it seriously. I remember people would like video me saying it and then say, "Well, look back at this in 4 years when you don't do it." And like for me, like I always knew I was going to do it. I was always putting in the work to do it. I just needed the race to do it. And Felix, I remember was after the Olympics, we all sat down. And he was telling me, he was like, I just don't. You always said it, and you just did it. And it's like you even like the whole down to like the exact time to the exact race plan all panned out. Like I like know everything how it's gonna happen. Like I made a 3-year plan from Tokyo to Paris. Exactly at the end of each season, what time I'm gonna go, what place I'm gonna have.
I got it wrong one.
I got it wrong one time because at the World Champs in 2023, I got 2 fourth places, and I expected to get a medal, like a bronze medal, but the time I went should have got a bronze medal. It's just unfortunate that it was the golden age in distance where everybody's going this fast. So it became that, but I didn't really see it as like it was a setback. It just kind of pushed me on even further.
Well, we
So-
always say we can't complain if you PB.
I know, and I always PB at big competitions, apart from last season when I had the appendix issue. But I've never not had a competition where I've not PB'd at an international meet. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm lucky.
Well, that's
I
where
am
you want
lucky.
to be. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't be upset with your best. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the right message. All right, dudes, we got some rapid fire questions and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I don't know how rapid it'll be between the two because we're going to go back and forth. And I know Daniel probably asked you this a couple of years ago when we chat, but let's hit a few of these again. So, Nathan, what's the hardest race in swimming?
200 back long horse.
Dan, what would you say?
I don't know, because I either go 200 back or 400 I am. So between the two.
All right. Dan, Olympic gold or world record?
This has changed recently, actually. Olympic
Well,
gold.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I used to be I'll give you a story. I used to be world record, and then I realized after winning the Olympics that it's actually never really about the time. Like I've done both, obviously, but I obviously want the long course world record. But it's
Right.
more about, for me, it's like I got more satisfaction out of getting my hand on the wall at the Olympics than I did at breaking a world record. So
Mine is also Olympic gold.
All right. What event, Nathan?
I'll say 50 then.
but
Berkeley.
it's not going to
prestigious.
upset me. I thought it was going to say
It's
800 and try upset me.
No, I like 100.
All right, Nathan, what's the most annoying thing a teammate can do?
Leave early.
All right, Daniel.
Sprint the last rep.
Oh, I
I'm
hate
not
that.
trying the rest. I'm not trying the rest.
Or not like completely
Yeah.
start the set off and then just trying the last rep.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on last one, fast one. When fast is written on all of the reps throughout the set, and then the last one is when you're going to
That
go
is
fast.
such a thing that we say as well, but we always sprint everything else.
Oh my
And,
God.
and then we always go, but you didn't win the last rep, so it doesn't count.
Oh, we're setting a bad message here. All right, Dan, if you had to delete every app on your phone except 3, what are the 3 that you're keeping?
I'm keeping my Red Bull Nutrition app. I'm keeping my probably Instagram and the YouTube Studio app.
All right. I'm going YouTube, Amazon Prime, like is in like Amazon.
Oh, like Amazon.
No, not the video.
Not the video, just Amazon.
And then
Yeah.
probably, I'd say Netflix.
Okay, all right, all entertainment on that one. I like it. All right, Nathan, fuck, marry, kill Guinness, Jameson, and Kerrygold's butter.
I've never had Jameson, so Guinness is.
Got to marry that.
I'm gonna marry Guinness. Well, I have to be Kerrygold, but I don't really. I'm not gonna lie, we don't eat Kerrygold.
Kerrygold's not even like Irish as well.
Is it not? I thought it was.
Do they sell it in Ireland?
I don't think they sell it on
We just pretended it is then.
Yeah.
Well, I already know what that is, so I guess I'm choosing that for the. I'll say F. A Kerrygold, and then I guess I'm getting rid of Jameson. I don't even
Jameson.
like whiskey.
I'm the exact same.
All right, fair enough. We'll take it. Okay, what's the hardest set that you've ever done?
You tell yours first.
Hardest set I've ever
I've got a
done.
new one.
Can you go first? Then?
All right.
'Cause I can't-
So I was recently in Las Vegas for the Sandpipers. I went to go train out with Nathan. I was at ACCs. Honestly, the hardest training week I've ever done in my life. I'll happily say it. They train so hard there. I've never experienced. So I got ill as well off it, like from training that hard. Every session is hard. I could have done it when I was younger, but now I'm like at the stage I am. Like it was ridiculous, and they're a bit at altitude as well, so it made it even harder. But they did a set called the Simone, I think they call it, and it's like a 300 kick for time, and then I've already forgotten the set. And then a 50 all out kick, and then two 50s as fast as you can go, and then a 200 kick for time, and then a 50 kick for time, and then and then 250s again, and then basically you do the same thing again, and then you add on 2 100s all out at the end, freestyle, and you do the same thing again, add on top of the 2 1s, and then you add on another 2 150s at the end, all out. So it's just a load of all out, basically.
Oh yeah, that sounds brutal.
Yeah, and I'm terrible at kick as well. Like I'm horrendous. So when I did that set, it was at 5 a.m. in the morning because you train really early, and I've not got up that early since I was like 12 years old. So it was that's the hardest set I've done in a while. And because I'm not good at kick, it makes it even harder. I was thinking through, like, most of my sets are like not that long. I'm just not. It's like lactate production ones. I've got like 2. In Colorado Springs, we did 20 50s, 1 dive, 1 push. And that was just brutal. Like, you could hardly get out of the water and dive by the end of it. And then 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay.
You couldn't breathe. And then the best thing about the set was that the whole group did it. So the sprinters did like 1 every like 8 minutes or something like that. And then the mid distance did like 1 every 4 minutes. So we were going all the time, and then they were joining in like every so often. And then another one I would say is like broken swims is just awful. I think we're starting a petition to ban broken swims because of how much they hurt. I remember in Loughborough we did 3 4s broken, and like I don't think I've ever done. I did that once, and I'll never do it again. Like, it was just the most painful thing ever. Yeah, I hate them.
Well, we're starting a petition to make mandatory social kick at the beginning of every practice and at the end of every practice. So, how much are you guys doing?
Well, now it's every session. I know Ryan said that we never weren't the biggest fans of social kick, but now we've adapted it into our training, and it's happening at least 200 meters a session.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
That's what it's all about. Hell yeah. Well, thanks for spending time on this episode of Social Kick, guys. It's been fun to chat with you again, Dan, and get to speak with you some, Nathan. What you guys are doing with social and sharing your story is really fun to watch.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome back anytime. We're excited to, have some fun with a connection with you guys, and are certainly cheering you on for what's to come. And welcome to California.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's it for this episode of Social Kick, and we'll see you guys next time. Hey, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed this episode of Social Kick and you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel. And we love talking swimming, and we'd love to talk about swimming with you. So leave us a comment, and we'll see you next time.